Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to pay tribute to the memory of Nicholas Lafond, a young man from Miller Place in New York's 1st Congressional District, who just a couple weeks back was taken from us far too soon due to the disease of addiction. A bright, intelligent, and talented young man, Nick was loved by all who knew him. He was an honors student who was accepted to Stony Brook University with the intention of pursuing a career in education. However, from a young age, Nick struggled with anxiety, which sadly led him down the path of heroin addiction as a teenager. He fought this addiction tirelessly with the love and support of his family and friends and sought several forms of treatment. Tragically, just last month, Nick lost his battle with addiction at the age of 25. On August 31st, I attended a press conference in recognition of International Overdose Awareness Day, where I met Nick's parents, Francine and Leonard, and discussed their son who had been laid to rest only 2 days prior. The courage of these heartbroken parents to come to this event and talk about Nick so soon after his passing is absolutely incredible. As a father, the thought of losing a child is unbearable. Through my discussion with Mr. and Mrs. Lafond, you could feel their commitment to fighting this terrible epidemic so that no other parent would have to go through their experience. Shortly after our discussion, I received a letter from the Lafonds detailing Nick's story and outlining so many of the steps we can take as a community to make drug addiction a thing of the past. From their words, you can feel their passion for this cause. Though it is too late to save their son, Francine and Leonard have dedicated themselves to easing the grip of addiction upon our society. Their selflessness and bravery in face of unthinkable tragedy is truly beyond compare. Mr. Speaker, I'm honored to stand here and share Nick's story with you and the American people and to discuss this critical priority. Every single day, Americans like this young man fall to drug addiction. It is one of the absolute greatest threats we face as a nation, and it will not subside unless we continue to act. Here in my home county of Suffolk, heroin and opioid abuse is an especially deadly and destructive scourge. There's no one solution to ending the drug epidemic. This is a complex issue involving all levels of government and our community leaders, law enforcement, schools, churches, and everyday Americans. We must form a collaborative effort to discuss and develop localized, community-based solutions to tackle this crisis by increasing treatment, recovery services, and education. Simple incarceration is not and will never be the lone answer to this crisis. In the last Congress, I was proud to have co-sponsored and helped pass into law the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act, or CARA, which provides a total of $8.3 billion in funding over 5 years to help combat the heroin and opioid abuse epidemic and funds many initiatives on a local level. While this is a step in the right direction, it is not enough to truly end this plague upon our nation. As Francine wrote to me in her letter, quote, "To make headway against this awful epidemic, the approach must be multifocal, swift, and forceful. We not only need dollars to be put toward law enforcement and treatment, both of which we know have limited effect, we also need to concentrate on addressing the underlying psychological issues that lead to opioid abuse. These are not drugs one uses to party. They are extremely strong and effective painkillers one uses to escape life. The world is a harsh place for kids today, so much different than when I or even you were young." End quote. The complexity of this issue is unrivaled, and we cannot turn a blind eye to any potential effort. This needs to be a highest priority to resolve. We cannot rest until tragic incidents like what happened to Nick Lafond become a thing of the past. I like to read a poem Nick wrote while in rehab, only weeks before his passing, which describes his tragic struggle. "Anxiety is life to me, mixed with some sobriety. Throw in notoriety, this is my anxiety. Always looking over my shoulder, will this get better as I get older? Carrying it around like a boulder, this is my anxiety. Dark holes and deep depression, popping pill after pill in rapid succession. How did I not see the progression? This is my anxiety. Days to weeks, weeks to months, and months to years. Why is my head constantly filled with tears? Keep a straight face. Don't shed any tears. This is my anxiety. Waking up to go to sleep. Climbing this mountain seems so steep. Close to the edge, I'll surely leap. This is my anxiety. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.